In this video, we'll analyze why Ruben Amorim tactics are struggling to balance attacking football and defensive solidity. In the build-up phase, recent games have shown United using only 3 scales, which limits their ability to achieve positional superiority, both centrally and on the wings. As a result, defenders are pushed into playing long, predictable passes, making it easier for opponents to anticipate. With the first 2 scales packed together, there's huge space for the opposition to exploit during offensive transitions. In the offensive phase, we see the same issues emerging. Connecting the second scale to the third is problematic, because United often finds itself in numerical inferiority. This is mostly due to the 3 centre-backs staying deep, holding back behind the ball. When a player attempts to pass to them to gain positional superiority, the attack bogs down, becoming slow and predictable. Even when they attempt to restart the game and a centre-back has space to play, he can't find teammates close and free. This problem also persists during the offensive phase, when United shifts to a 4-2-4 structure, with Mazraoui dropping back. However, no player takes advantage of this space, forcing the centre-back into playing long ball. Another critical factor in their ineffective attacking play is individual errors. For instance, when Amad Diallo has positional superiority, the Ligt fails to spot him, focusing instead on passing to Mazraoui. This creates a scenario where strong passing connections are between the defenders. When Mazraoui receives the ball, Amad is already marked, forcing the play backward to Onana, who is under pressure and opts for a long ball. United loses possession this way because they struggle to win second balls, with only Ugarte possessing the right profile for such duels. Finally, players' decision-making is poor on and off the ball. Here Maguire attempts a risky pass to Mazraoui, who finds him free, but instead of playing a safe pass to maintain and advance the attack, he tried to play with the wrong player and lost the ball. Manchester United's defensive structure often reveals significant vulnerabilities, particularly in the gap between the pressing block and the defensive line. Unlike their opponents, who typically operate with 4 scales to connect defense to attack, United's setup creates exploitable spaces. These movements by the opposition tend to draw United's players deeper, leaving gaps that allow the opponents to switch play effectively. This opens up opportunities to deliver crosses into the box with minimal resistance. A key issue in United's defensive system is the numerical superiority opponents often achieve in the central areas. As United's strikers press the opposition defenders, they leave the midfield exposed and outnumbered. The centre-backs hesitate to step out and engage, avoid pressing higher to prevent leaving spaces behind them. Another recurring weakness is the performance of United's wingbacks. They often lack the aggression required to prevent crosses, giving opponents the chance to exploit wide areas. This flaw frequently leads to goals conceded through these zones. This video is brought to you by Metric Sports, the fundamental tool for every coach and analyst. Create and manage all your video analysis in one platform. Use coupon NasirSelad at checkout for a 10% discount. When a centre-back steps out to cover space and achieve numerical parity in central areas, it often exposes United's defensive vulnerability. By leaving their direct marker, the centre-back creates an opening for the opponent to find a free player behind United's midfield line. This frequently forces United's midfielders to make fouls to prevent the opposition from exploiting the available spaces. Another issue occurs when the centre-backs arrive late to anticipate plays in the red zone. This delayed reaction pulls midfielders out of position as they attempt to compensate, leaving gaps that opponents exploit. These spaces are often used to shift play wide and deliver crosses to the far post, a scenario that United has struggled to defend effectively. Additionally, problems arise during high pressing and defensive transitions. When United center-backs push higher to compress space, opponents identify the vulnerability and play long balls into the half spaces. This tactic frequently disrupts United's defensive shape. Now the lead steps out to mark an opponent, but leaves space behind him. This space is exploited by a diagonal run, which overcomes Mazraoui. Meanwhile, with Joro initially covering the midfield zone at the start of the sequence, the opponent targets his free space at the far post, creating more troubles for United. Additionally, individual errors, whether during set pieces or open play, frequently undermine Amorim's tactical setup. These mistakes often lead to early goals conceded, forcing United to start games from behind and disrupting their overall game plan. Do you think Ruben Amorim's tactics are the main issue, or are the players unable to perform consistently regardless of who the coach is? Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.